my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with an all new review of Put a Ring on It. Let's get into it. So, Charlie and Otis, we're back. Lack of trust, a recent date to a DM. Never told her about it. Pretty much told everybody in front of her she's ready to go home because he hasn't shared anything in this process. So I don't know why I want to stay. She's trying to get her to settle down, not leave because we didn't even get through Alfonso and Shay yet. She's ready to go because I don't know what else to say about this. But Dr. Nicole said, why come here if this was an opportunity for you to see how your partner is moving, the opportunities that you're willing to take in this process? She said, I'm open to meeting other people. I'm open to meeting and dating new people, but I cannot go through this process if Otis is not looking to fix himself. I don't know what's going to happen next. So she's ready to go. There's no more tears left for me to cry because I don't feel no tears. The doctor said, well, as far as this process goes, this is a tough process. You can't control your partner. You cannot be with them 24/7 to watch how they move. You're going to have to trust yourself and trust your partner in this process. And give them the respect because they might not. They might not give you the respect that you want. They might not give the respect you deserve. But that's up to you to figure out if there's someone that you want to be with or not. Fonzo and Shay, the whole disaster of the date, how she wanted him to recognize her, acknowledge her on a date where she wasn't even supposed to have that mindset. She was not supposed to be looking for seeking validation from Fonzo. She was supposed to be there learning about herself, learning about her date, and moving forward, not caring about Fonzo, right? And the date went left and ended there. So, of course, knowing that the date ended a disaster, it was a fight, and she had to defend herself when she didn't have to because she was the one who started it. And the whole time the doctor was asking her, did you want a confrontation? Is that what you wanted? She said, no, that's not what I expected. What I want was a level of respect for my spouse. Dr. Nicole was looking at her like, what do you mean, spouse? Yes, my spouse. I'm his girlfriend. He's my boyfriend. Dr. Nicole said, Shay, girl, no disrespect, but that's not the same thing because that's a boyfriend. A spouse is someone who are legally married to. He's not your husband. He's not. He's your boyfriend. Hell, he's threading on thin ice of being your man at this point. And that is your opinion, but girl, you cannot use that term of looking at him as your husband if he's not your husband. That's that spiritual husband shit. No. So basically, you're seeing red because you're looking at him in the eyes and the terms of your husband. But in reality, this man is not your husband. This is someone who you are struggling to know if this is the man that you want to marry. This is awareness. This is not your spouse, and you're getting disappointment because he's not acting like what you thought as a husband would be because he's not your husband. So you're mad that in reality he is not acting like the man you want him to be, and you want him to take the situation serious. And girl, you're gonna have to get through that mindset. You thinking that because he is someone you seek a marriage with, he's gonna give you husband every time. No, he's not. He's giving you fuck nigga. And she wants him to first of all stop laughing as far as the seriousness of this relationship. I want him to stop laughing. And I feel like he is extremely selfish. I get emotionally depleted from him because he doesn't take everything seriously. He takes everything as a joke. And every time she's expressing herself, she gets emotionally drained because he's coming out laughing. And the entire time that she is sitting there expressing what do she want in this relationship, I want him to take this relationship seriously. I want him to take me serious. I want him to not be so selfish. And he's laughing at me. Dr. Nicole could literally look at him and she was not happy. She said, Mr. Fonso, why are you laughing? Because I don't know where it come from. I have no idea what that is. Bullshit, bro. She's telling him. She's speaking her truth. She's being vulnerable. And you laugh when things get serious. You laugh when you don't want to get into deep conversations. Something that's required for you to talk about. But you laugh to defer you from talking about it. Laughing keeps you away from talking about the truth. And to be honest, I feel like he was bullshitting because he keeps on talking about wanting to work on it. He's something he wants to feel. He's supporting her. I'm not going nowhere. She's not going nowhere. I will never leave my sight. She's not leaving my sight. But Dr. Cole was looking at him like, you are speaking nothing but hot air right now. Because there's something serious behind what you're saying. You're just speaking out bullshit. Because this is your last attempt to tell Shay that Oh, you know, no, take that back. So while he's speaking bullshit about how this is something he needs to work on, he wants to do it, he wants to do all that, but he's not really hearing what Shay's saying. He's not hearing it. He's just saying something so he won't get the heat off him. And Dr. Nicole just pretty much told Shay in a nutshell, girl, um, this is my last time telling you in a way where I hope you can understand. This man is not your man of your dreams. He's not your husband. He's not nobody you should want to be in a relationship with. You got to be willing to see if he is meeting your emotional needs and seeing if he's going to show up in the way you want him to show up for you. If he doesn't take it, doesn't take you being serious, doesn't take your needs, and puts action towards it, then there's your answer. And she knows that's her answer. But she's trying so hard to hold on for dear life. And I don't know why. This man is not for you, sis. He's not for you. Leave him be. So basically, it's back to Mr. Alfonso. You want to be with her. She feels like he's not. You're not giving her a serious reason. You're not taking this process seriously. While Shay is giving him opportunities, she's giving him chance after chance that he just disregards her, which he does. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I want to work on what we have when you're not doing it as well. And you're not just gonna assume that we're gonna be together if you're not doing no work. So the situation for who's going on a second date. Kenneth would not be going on a second date because it just wasn't hitting it. He wasn't thinking about a second date. I was like, okay. Um, Shorty said, first of all, there is physical attractiveness in the dates that he's had. He just doesn't see them for some odd reason. But he has to really find somebody physically attractive enough to consider a second date. But I don't know why, because all of his dates were pretty. What's the problem, Kenneth? I don't know, because I thought that Chantrell was pretty much thirsty as hell of giving you that cat. But you didn't want to take it. Why? Why you didn't want to take it? Why? Because I really do believe that that's what Shorty wants you to do. She wants you to find somebody who you will be able to leave this process with, because she is sober and done with. Shorty will be going on a second date with Tavi because she loved the fact that Tavi kept her comfortable, kept her nice, kept her energy going to stay aware in the date. He said it is what it is because he wants to know how he felt. He said it's the process, doctor. I'm taking the process day by day. Fazio and Shay will not be going on another date because their dates ended a disaster. Don't know if any one of them will want to have any conversation with them again, so it's no point. Charlie will not be going on another date with Brent. Otis will not be going on a date with Milan. Now, her thoughts about him not going on another date was because since, I don't know why he didn't want to. I mean, I think because since he had her DMs, maybe they already met her before, so there's no point because she doesn't know how Otis is moving in this process. I don't know how he's moving because he's not expressing how he's moving. So basically, she's still upset about everything. He's not being honest about the situation. He's not being honest about the process. I have no idea what's going on. And right now, I don't care. I'm good. But Dr. Nicole recognizes that she's not good. She says, if you set me up with another date, I'll be great. I'll be really good. I'll be right as rain. But this is not a process to find you another man. This is a process of seeing if the grass is greener on the other side or if the grass is greener where you water it. That's the thing. Seeing how your other partner moves with another person, seeing how you move with another person to see out if this is worth it. Of all the things that you have done in your relationship, it's worth to just walk away from it into a whole new person, or it's letting you know that the start of starting over is not really in the cards for me. So I want to learn how I can be as open and vulnerable to my partner now. So I won't have to worry about doing this all over again. It's learning, you know what I'm saying? It's learning about yourself and seeing if there is a possibility of another option for you. You have the ability to do it or not. And if this is the person that you want to be with, then that's so be that's it. So there will be no dates this week. It's all about family dynamics. So they will be having conversations with their closest family members about their relationships. Everybody leaves. Charlie is searching around for everybody to give her the car keys. She leaves Otis, and he'll catch her when he catch her. I do believe that Otis and Charlie don't live together because the first time I see their home, they're upstairs in the high-rise apartment. I think that's Otis's home. And the lower level, excuse me, the townhome or the flat apartment, I think that's Charlie's home. It'd be different settings for me. So Otis meets up with his father because he wants to know where he can learn from him. His father was married to his mother for over 40 years before she passed away, and I believe he can let me know what I need advice on. He likes Charlie. He wants them to grow together and learn together and grow. They talk about marriage, but their problems have gotten bigger. Oh no, take that back. When it comes to his father, the relationship between him and his mother, it was a lot, but our problems were never bigger than our relationship. And there were a couple times where your mom did get fiery, but it was only because I wasn't listening. And I should have listened better and made the situation better. And Otis said that Charlie wants him to listen more, but he says there are times where I'm listening to her and she doesn't know it. This is the thing that I don't like about you, Otis. Why are you always want to blame her how she's not recognizing what you're doing when you don't recognize what you're doing is affecting her? So he stopped him and said, you heard you just said right there? It's not to the point where she's not listening to you. You need to show her that you're listening to her. You need to put actions behind, initiate that you're listening to her. How is she supposed to know that? She's not a mind reader. She's not someone who can feel how you feel and supposed to just know how you're feeling. You have to tell her the actions behind what you're saying. And it's an interesting requirement, but he talks about how both him and Charlie just go petty, say whatever's on their mind, and that they don't communicate well. They just blurt out everything, and then they don't let the situation die down, and that makes it impossible to fix. But being patient, and it led to having a major communication issue. So he wants to know how did his dad become patient. He said, well, sometimes he didn't want to add fuel to the fire. You want to just sit back, take a step back, listen, and sometimes digest what they're saying because it could be times where you were wrong and you have to take it, listen, and see and understand her point from that. And it could be vice versa. So he appreciated the conversation with his dad. Kenneth and Shorty. He, of course, making breakfast. And since they won't have dates to go on, excuse me, he wants to make this day about how they fell in love in the first place. And talking about the session they had with Dr. Nicole. So she don't want to go on a date with him. And I think she wanted him to mention the session to persuade him to not want to go on another date because we can't just pick up where we left off when we still have issues to work on. So why won't we have the talk now? Why would you want to wait for us to have a good day and then talk about the session? So we're talking about the comment that she made yesterday. How Kenneth seeks out women who are out of his league, who are established, beautiful, got things going on for themselves, and he finds them attractive. And he didn't like it. He felt like I couldn't get any beautiful women. Is that what you think? I can't find a woman? No, what I said was you find women who are beautiful, established, a lot going on for themselves. And I feel like you want to go for a woman who has all those things because you don't have all those things. I meant what I said. He found it offensive because that's not true. She can have any kind of man she wants. He can have any kind of woman that he wants. And the type of woman that he go for, it doesn't matter if they have things or not. That's not what he's about. Because I chose her, and that's what I continue to want to be with, then that's what it was. But Shorty said, I was never raised to never respect someone who's not willing to work hard for the things that you have worked hard for. And basically, bringing things to the table. So he feels like I'm not working hard because I'm not capable of being loved by somebody. I'm not capable to be right for somebody. I'm just saying, if you want someone who has all those things and you want all the love and acquirement, you're not appreciating those things. Hence, you have Shorty who's pretty much the breadwinner and you're not appreciating her. You're not giving her love, care, nurturing. You're probably not. Pretty much why she's looking at you like all you do is give me love and praise. I need for you to put some effort behind it. Get a job, pay a bill, fix something. You expect me to do all those things, but I will find it much more attractive if you were able to surprise me with a car note being paid, rent being paid for a couple of months, a light bill, this and that. More than just you feeding me, giving me good dick. I need more for what you can provide for me than what you can serve me with. What you can provide. That's the thing for me. Because obviously I don't think that Short is seeing the appreciation, and maybe she uses that to come at him what he doesn't do, what he doesn't provide for. And he said, okay, well, I do appreciate the women that I'm with, but she don't give a damn. That's how he said it. She feels like I'm out of his league because I think he resents me in where I'm at in life, he is not in life. So the fact that I'm well off, I'm well established, he's mad at me because I have those things that he doesn't. It's his own insecurities of where he's at in his life. And when she does give her opinions, he can't take it because he receives it as harsh criticism or harsh judgment. Now, I mean, as far as like, what else are you looking for in yourself? I can't be your cheerleader if you're not taking what I'm telling you. If I'm telling you you're worth more than working here, then I need for you to find another job. Or if you're not applying yourself, excuse me, you're just coasting what you're having, it's not enough for me, then I'm gonna say something. Yeah, I know it's not nice to beat a man down all the time, but if he's not bringing nothing to the table for me to want to give him support on, I really don't know what else I can say to him. Okay, he serves me food and he gives me good dick. What else? I cannot base my life and my future on somebody who does not show any sense of drive, ambition. It's not greed, it's ambition. Do you not see yourself making more money? Do you not see yourself in a career? Do you not see yourself being more established? Why is it me that's holding all of those things and you can't do those things for yourself? Why? Why? So she said her mom and her dad raised her to not expect for someone to take care of her when she can't take care of herself. That's what my mom taught me. My mom taught me not being dependent on nobody. That's why I know how to cook, clean, feed for myself, fix this, fix that. I do not need a man for nothing else than to provide shelter and clothing for me. And even though I can't get those things for myself, a woman needs to be taken care of, not taking care of a man. No, 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 no. While I have my independence in all places, it's still nice to be wine and dine. It's still nice to be taken care of when I know I have the ability of getting those things myself. I'm not completely helpless out here, but I don't know how to live my life. I don't know how to take care of myself. That's not where I'm at all. And that's where Shorty is. I know how to take care of myself, but what I'm not in the mood or I'm not in the ability of is taking care of another man who needs to be told that he needs to take care of himself. He needs to be told he needs to handle his business. He needs to be told this is what he got to do when he should do it for himself. And then he said, "You think I wouldn't be here if I want to handle my responsibilities? You think I wouldn't be here? Then why am I here then?" Then he throws out her age. You 40 years old. What you want from me here? You think you'll help me? Why am I around? Why keep me around if I'm not doing what I need to do to stay? What am I doing? Okay, well, we're going to figure out how long you're going to stay. You're going to throw that in my face. So the fact he threw a dig at her age, she said, yeah, I'm 40. What else? I'm 40. What else? I'm also all the things you have said about me is old. All the things you think about, what I want is old. A woman is not supposed to be in this world to owe you. She's not owed you to take care of you. She's not owed you to do things for you. She's not owed you to do nothing else for your ass that you can do it for yourself. You believe that you're supposed to be owed things? No. And then that's not how it works. And the fact that I'm saying you're saying that I'm pretty much a dummy for staying with you, then yeah, I'll take that. I'm a dummy for staying with you. I'm a dummy for accepting what you don't bring to the table. I'm dumb for all the lies you said to me. I'm dumb for overlooking you going through my phone. I'm overlooking you taking pictures of my bank statements. I'm overlooking you following me after I have moved out from my apartment for a new apartment. I'm overlooking all that because I saw so much potential in you and I don't know why. Charlie, getting ready for her day. She looks great. She's trying to talk to Otis. She's still being petty. And he said, have fun on your day. She said, I will. Mm. He is trying to take his father's advice, try to listen, trying to be patient, be attentive as she wants him to be. It's harder than it looks. What she needs for him is he talked about how it's been tough. I'm sorry I put you through that. I'm sorry. I can't say that enough. And to her, it feels like I don't believe you. I feel like you're not taking this seriously because he's not coming across sincere. He's not showing me how sorry. And I need for him to show me that you are genuinely sorry. You can't just get it all by saying you're sorry and that's it. Saying it one time, saying it 5 times, saying it 10 times. I feel like if a man has to put a disclaimer how he's apologized 15 times and it's not enough, then you not feeling sorry from jump. You never have to be sorry if you meant it. If you meant that you were sorry that you're hurting me, it doesn't matter how many times you're saying it. You need to show me. You need to give me hugs, give me affection, say things to me where I can know that you're sorry because sometimes words are meaningless. And she feels like he's not being meaningful. He's just saying it so he doesn't want to be in the hot seat no more. So I feel like I need for you to know that you really hurt me. But since she's so hurt, she doesn't know what to expect from him, and no action has been made to show that he's sorry. And I have always tried to make sure that you are open. I'm listening. And he said it's a struggle for him to talk about it. It's a struggle for him to not hear from her that she's listening or that he's listening to her. And you can't tell me that you're listening because, yeah, yeah. So basically, you can't tell me that I'm not listening to you because I'm not seeing any actions behind it. And he said everything is happening today. I know, but just a couple of days ago, you did something that was completely disrespectful towards me, and your actions from that point have not shown me that you're sorry. So if I just saying it, it hasn't seen any action behind it. So he says he's not listening, and you want to point the finger. She said, "Yeah, I am pointing the finger because he knows he needs to take some accountability, but the level that he wants to take some accountability is not there because he was saying how he's done things, but nobody else has done them, so he doesn't want to talk about it anymore because he does not want to be on the island of knowing that he fucked up, how he needs to take responsibility, but he doesn't want to be the only one doing it. He said, okay, I'll take responsibility if you say you did this too. I think that's fair. Otis is not going to work like that. I'm not the one who put up a boundary, who put up rules that you did not follow yourself. You have had multiple dates that you have not shared when it was your rule to share. Come to find out, you threw out that you have been speaking to one of your dates through a DM. While you say it's not innocent, I mean it's innocent, it's not nothing that's serious. Okay, then you could say something about it because you know for a fact that it's something that you want a reaction out of Char for. You want Charlie to have a reaction of what you're doing. You want that. I don't know if you want that to shape her into being that main woman for you, or you want to teach her a lesson because she was already nervous of what you were going to do to get back at her. So he don't want to talk. He doesn't want to go back and forth. And yes, she said you're mad at me for pointing the finger, and he's trying to listen. But what his dad said, he can't think about what his dad told him. He threw everything out the window of what his dad said, and thought maybe it was easier to talk to his mother. Shay. Shay meets her mom and her auntie for advice. And the inconsistency of her and Fonzo's relationship and where her emotions are lying. She talked about how she doesn't feel accepted by his family. The barrier between him and his mom, he has not tried, he has not moved forward with, he has not put any action into making me feel like a priority for him and his mother. He has not done that. And I feel like I'm on an island by myself to be accepted into a family that he has not tried to open that door for a chance. He hasn't done that. So her mom tells her, I was the same way. I went through the same thing with your daddy and stepdaddy because they both love their mothers to a T. But I told him, while I'm giving you 100% support, I love you, I'm here for you, this is what I want in return. I tell him my background, what I do, what I want, what I don't want. If you cannot fulfill any of my requirements, any of my needs to be in a relationship with me, then it's over and done with. And Shay realized another thing about herself. She's never placed any boundaries with Fonzo. It's always go with the flow, see what happens. And from that point on, she's been wanting something from Fonzo that she never said. Because she thought that it would happen naturally or it would happen when she went with the flow. But turns out, no, you got to tell men what you want. Otherwise, they're not going to know. Tell them what you want. If they can't do it, they can't live up to the plate, then go ahead and kick rocks. For her mother was with her dad for 20 years, then found her stepdad and was lived there for 20 years, and lived there for 10 years. 20 years with her dad, 10 years with her stepdad. So she's had two relationships where she got what she wanted from two men without having to worry about if this is the man for me. Is he going to complete all my flaws? Is he going to complete all what I want? And he did that. Her aunt said that women seem to tolerate and accept things so many times in so many ways and believe that their love is going to change the outcome of that person. No. You have to say it. You have to tell them. And do you believe you can deal with this for the next 5 years? Look back at everything. Take a step back. All the things you've been going through. Do you think you can still be dealing with this for the next 5 years, for the next decade? Shay said, I don't know if I could deal with this in the next 10 minutes. Because if I'm not willing to accept it, if I'm not willing to get what I want, and I should be given what I wanted, I should know my worth to be given what I wanted. And she doesn't know what else she can do. She doesn't want to walk away from something that could be fixed, but at the same point in time, it's the actions behind it. Another thing, actions. Actions are more than just saying I love you. I need the actions. If you are killing yourself being in this relationship, then you're not worth being in this relationship. You need to work on you. Love you first. And if he's not taking no action to know what prize he's worth pursuing, then walk away. It's okay to walk away. She never expected for her aunt to be so real, and she pretty much heard from her mom and her aunt. If you're not getting what you want in a relationship that you fought so hard to keep, and he's not showing you that you're worth keeping, you're a prize, I cannot live without her, he's not showing you none of that, it's okay to walk away. It's okay to leave. And she never thought she would hear from her mom or her auntie about giving her the okay to walk away. Sometimes, girl, while you're trying to put all your relationship, you put in all the years you put in into hoping that you'll never have to go through this again, sometimes there are bad frogs. Bad frogs. There are tons of frogs. Then you'll get that prince. Sometimes you gotta go through the bad frogs. You gotta go through them. Sometimes you have to. It's a blessing if you only have to go through it one time, where you don't have to worry about any problems, any insecurities, any infidelities. It's a blessing, but it's also a blessing to know that you don't need to deal with this. You don't. And Shay, move on, please. So we meet Chris Hobbs. He's 34 years old from Marietta, Georgia, and he's dated a girl with a boyfriend. It was fun. When I first saw him, he looked like Odell Beckham Jr. I'm like, is that Odell Beckham? No, he looked like his twin. I'm not gonna lie, his long lost brother. That's what he looks like to me. So they have common interests in sports. He was a football player, and she was a tennis player in college. And of course, she wanted to learn more about him. He was born and raised in Marietta. Marietta. He lived in Cali, and how he's familiar with messing around with women who have men who've had boyfriends, were they sexual, were they situations, just hangouts. He said, if we have a second date, I'll let you know. They're laughing. She finds him attractive, muscular, athletic, but she would never consider a future with him because he's got player vibes, and that he do. He got player energy all the way around him. And I believe she about having a boyfriend in college, and that was the norm for her. That was like what was supposed to happen. So she never thought about having a wild side or experiencing something different, wild, out of the norm, you know? And it was asked, what was it asked about it? Oh yeah, his girlfriend went to the same college. She went to FAMU. Am I saying FAMU? I think that's where she went. His girlfriend went to the same college as she did, and his ex had a high sex drive, and that's what he thought he wanted in the moment, but it got too much. She wanted all day, all night, in between mornings, in between days, and he couldn't do it. Even said to the point where they had a threesome together. Okay. They laughed, and there are a lot of women in the world who did. No, take it back. Charlie said there were a lot of men who would want a woman with a high sex drive. He said, yeah, he thought that too, but turns out he wanted more than that. And he said Charlie is a complete package. She's educated, she's beautiful, she's athletic, and she carries herself. And a second date is in the works. So obviously, learn that he's single. How are you single in these Atlanta streets? He said it's easy to date, but if you want to date top notch, it's hard to do. And that's pretty much what he wants. She likes him that he's honest, he's cool, and he could be a good fun, a little bit of trouble, but maybe she doesn't like being in this kind of trouble. He wants to know what's it gonna take for her to leave her dude. That's what he said. And if they get a second date, she'll tell him about it. I was like, oh, that's what we doing. Okay. I mean, they will make a cute couple, but I would feel like this guy is a fuck boy. He is a player. He will swoon you and he will dog you. He just gives me, he has no problem getting what he wants, but he will definitely break a few hearts to get it. Like, it's definitely player vibes. Okay. But they were cute though. I see Charlie laughing and engaging. So you could think he's another Otis, right? So, Shorty and Kenneth, they go out for dinner. He got his turtleneck on. She did not want him to hold her hand. She wanted to be pretty much separate from him the entire time. Then they're talking about the night they met at the concert. She gave him the googly eyes. And he's talking about all that lovey-dovey stuff. Shorty was like, listen, in the day, that lovey-dovey stuff is not going to sit well with me right now. Because while trying to make the night romantic, make it nice and cool, she is not really here for it. She's not. And he tried to give her a kiss. He said, whoa, first of all, you don't kiss me like that. Say something before you just do it. I'm like, but this is your man living for 3 years. He can't give you a kiss. Shorty really don't want this man no more. She don't want him at all. Because while he is trying to be lovey dovey, she feels like there were a lot that we had to work through. You can't just talk about the love. We gotta get to the hard stuff first. And those give me a kiss. Don't do that. So she said, I believe that you are in fear of losing me because the fact that you are talking to me this way and you want to tell me things, this is some things that you're not easy to talk about. You're now choosing to talk about. And you don't want to get into the hard stuff. He wants to have a nice evening and he doesn't want to talk about Dr. Nicole. He wants to wait for talk about Dr. Nicole. Don't bring this up now. But Dr. Nicole is not going to live with them forever. And you have to be able to say what it is you need to say, use the tools, and you want to open about things, but then you don't want to open about things. I believe you find things that are easy for you to talk about and things that are not easy for you to talk about. Because if you tell me things, you are in fear of losing me. If you tell me things that are bothering you, tell me things you want, tell me things you don't want, you think I'm going to run away. Because I might give a critique about something that I might hear, and you're gonna afraid to say I'm gonna walk out that door. But I feel like if you're not going to sit there and take what I'm saying, understand it, and see where we can work from it, then what can I say? You ain't gonna hear me. So he says it's hard for him to be expressive because sometimes he's always on the defense. Whenever he says something, she doesn't hear it. And he talks about shutting down whenever she is tearing him down about something, what he doesn't do, what he does do, and he can't get it out. I do that because you put me down to a level I'm lower than low. You question my pride as a man. I was like, oh, he questions pride as a man. So he feels like he's been tested. He's been lower than low. He's been a whining whip of a man. And he don't know what you want from me. He can't handle something that you don't want me to be. I can't fulfill that for you. And you look out for ways of making me look bad. And you lead up to it. You lead up with the idea, the criticism, the judgment you have in your head about me. And you run with it. And he goes on and on and on. And he stopped her because he wanted to get it all the way off his chest. He was standing up for himself, right? And she said, first of all, I'm happy that you're standing up for yourself. I'm happy putting your foot down, but who you talking to? Then she's like, listen, listen, listen. If you have to push yourself so hard to be something for me that you don't have the ability to do that for yourself, then find somebody who's appreciative of the hard work you're putting in because I don't think I have that in me to do. I can't be with someone who is not willing to appreciate what I do. And if I can't be with someone who wants to work, who doesn't want to work on something, and it becomes fake. I can't build something with someone that isn't real, which is thinking that you are an established person. You're not established. You're not showing me that you can become established. And I'm just sitting on broken promises. And I can't figure that out. So we have to figure this out if this is what's worth it or if this isn't worth it. Shorty is completely done with this man. Over the top, over and done. If you have pushed yourself to disregard your own feelings to be someone for me and it's not working, then you don't need to do that. You don't need to not be yourself to be with me. I need for you to be all of you. I need for you to have the same drive and ambition. If you don't have that, I can't be there for you. I can't be the main one holding all the drive, all the ambition, and you're just sitting there coasting. Can't do it. Well, I'm giving you support. I'm giving you this, and you're not taking it. You're just accepting that I'm telling to take care of you at the end. You're accepting you have a roof over your head. But what are you doing to make it seem as if this home could be a home, not just for me, but for you too? But we're going to see with that. So it ends with Charlie meeting up with Otis to see where their relationship is going. And dealing with everything, the controlling, the manipulation, how he was not being open about this process, and fed up his accountability too. So he talks about how he's over this process, he's done, he's tired, he hasn't got any sleep, it's stressful. Then he said, you know what I'm tired too, I'm not over it, and he's talking about how are you eating here? I said, no, I'm not eating here. Okay, well, um, I feel like you know what? This isn't enough. You want to talk about everything else? You want to talk about other reasons why you believe this is over? Because Charlie isn't over this process. She's not over it. He's looking around for somebody to serve him. So accountability is part of a relationship that's being built. If you're not willing to be honest and take accountability for your actions, there's no point in a relationship. So the problems that they have to face or move forward. What are your thoughts about that? He's tired of talking about it over and over again. They had to talk about it before. And you have my views on it. You have your views. I have my views. She asked him more than once, what are your views in a relationship? What are your views? I have mine. You have yours. What are your views? I have mine and you have yours. That's not answering the question. So he doesn't feel like talking about it because he feels like he's not, being heard. She said, how are you not being heard? Because he's talking about the problem, it's not being reciprocated. That he said his part and that's how he feels. And he doesn't want to dive deep into what he's done. So now, how are we going to move forward? If you don't want to talk about this, how are we going to move forward? We can't just brush this off. And again, what are your views? So because she's not hearing him say he doesn't want to talk about it, then this should be the end of discussion. That should be the end of it. But honestly, if it's so bad that you feel like you can't open enough to have this conversation, then that means that you don't want to move forward because he said, I can't have these type of conversations with you. What type of conversation do you want to have with her? So you're not saying anything right now. She's trying to have an understanding as to why you did what you did. You're taking accountability to what you did and how we can move forward for what you did. Wants to know the ball is in your court. Let's talk about it, right? So trying to move forward, but there's issues. He want to talk about he has a hard time talking about issues because if you want to speak on certain things, he feels like she would throw it away, brush it off, not trying to hear him. But now from that, he wanted to make it about her, how she's not giving him the understanding of listening to him. She wants to say, so you're putting the blame on me for your behavior. Since you want to hold me accountable for how I'm going to react for what you've done, that means you're not going to express and talk about what you've done. You want to place me at fault. So she's talking about how was it her fault that you're pretty much blaming me for my part in the situation when this was something that you did. He said the DMs he sent to Milan were innocent. There was nothing wrong about it. There was no need for him to talk about it though. And then he wanted to say that the dates weren't serious. I did not learn that much about myself with someone only for a few hours. Like I asked you that. You said you remember 3 things. Okay. I remember 3 things about my day, but that doesn't mean that I sought out to talk to my day for more information. I did not seek out more understanding. I did not seek out to learn more about myself. Because he wants to downplay it by saying you can't learn from somebody from a few hours. But this is the thing though, Otis. If the dates were not that serious, if the conversation you had with Milan were not that serious, then why can't you just talk about it? Why? Since he's not being open, he feels like we're supposed to have an open discussion how we're going to move forward. If you're not taking accountability, then it's cool. You can go your way, I can go my way. It's cool. So basically, we're done with this conversation. He said, no, we're having this conversation. But you just said you don't want to have this discussion. You're tired about talking about it over and over, but what have you said? Nothing. Nothing. You still are not being honest. You're still not taking accountability. You're not being open about how you feel about this process. You're not doing it. So he's saying, we're having this discussion. Don't do that. She said, stop telling me what to do. Stop. You don't tell me what to do. I'm calling me an Uber. So now he's flipping out, making it seem as if he's been trying to be open this entire time and had a conversation. And we were supposed to have this conversation. So are you in or out? Something like that. And then she said, leave me alone. That was in the episode. Otis, your gaslighting ass. You're twisting words. You can get out of my face with this. But this is bullshit. This is utter bullshit, okay? Because this was so not a hard discussion for you. All you had to do was talk about the dates. All you had to do was talk about this. And you chose not to. But that's what you guys. That's all I have. Please, until next video, I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.